going down, Niners faithful? I was going to actually make this video earlier, but didn't have time. It's actually been a very long day. Joe Flacco traded to the Denver Broncos for a mid-round pick. I'm not completely sure on the details of the trade. All I know is that he cannot officially be he's going to be a Denver Bronco, but the trade is not completely official until March 13th. Joe Flacco, and it's kind of funny because Joe Flacco and Case Keenum, the current Denver Broncos quarterback who played, and started from them last season, actually have similar stats within the past couple of years. Did Denver win by this trade? That's a big question because we got to see how Joe Flacco plays. Now, I don't think Joe Flacco is washed. I don't think he's completely washed, I should say. I mean, he is 34 years old. I just don't understand why Denver would throw something at Joe Flacco. If anything, I thought Joe Flacco would retire because obviously Lamar Jackson is the future in Baltimore. And with Joe Flacco being 34 years old, gradually downgrading in his career, not doing as well as he used to be, I feel like in a way it could be another whiff for John Elway. I just don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this because the thing is the Baltimore Ravens have a future quarterback in Lamar Jackson, but with Joe Flacco being, the way he played last season starting off, and then now, him being traded to the Denver Broncos, it just kind of throws questions out there in a way. But we'll see how it pans out because as of right now, you only can hope for the best if you're a Bronco fan. And I know there's been quarterback controversy, and, that means to me that, they may have not wanted to go after Nick Foles. Personally, I think Denver was probably the front runner to get Nick Foles, but considering that, they just traded for Joe Flacco, I feel like that's out of the equation. I feel like Denver is wanting to go in a separate direction than in acquiring Nick Foles. So I can't really say the Denver Broncos. I mean, to me, it just seems like this is another whiff for John Elway because I don't think Joe Flacco is going to be a franchise. He's 34 years old. You want a guy on your team that can be the quarterback for at least the next 7 to 8 years. Joe Flacco will not play for the next 7 to 8 years. Personally, I think he could retire within the next 3 years. So I don't know exactly what Denver's thinking was when acquiring Joe Flacco, but we'll see how it works out for him. I mean, if Joe Flacco can play good in their system and be, the old Joe Flacco we knew, which is highly doubtful, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it's going to be another whiff, and I feel like John Elway is just not doing what's best for this team. Trading for a guy who's downgrading in his career, he's 34 years old. I'm just not necessarily seeing the point in trading for this guy because he's not going to be your franchise quarterback. If anything, have Case Keenum draft Drew Lock in the first round of the draft. I mean, John Elway loves Drew Lock. I'm just not understanding because you could easily draft Drew Lock, have a quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. Just not understanding this John Elway whole deal. And also heard that Emmanuel Sanders could possibly be in trade talks with the 49ers if the 49ers do not end up acquiring Antonio Brown. There could be a possible trade on draft day of the 49ers going out and acquiring Emmanuel Sanders. We'll see what happens, but as of right now, Joe Flacco is a Denver Bronco, and he's going to have to prove a lot because as of right now, I'm going to guess that he's going to be their quarterback. I mean, they're shopping Case Keenum now. I'm just not understanding this move. I don't necessarily get why you would trade for somebody just like Case Keenum that's older than Case Keenum. I don't like this move. I don't. I do not support this move, and I think it's going to be another whiff for this Denver Broncos team and John Elway, but We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think of the trade. Personally, I do not like this trade. I don't think Joe Flacco is good or how I don't think he'll ever be how he used to be. He could prove me wrong, but that's just my take. I just don't think he will be as good as he used to be. We'll see what happens, though. But Joe Flacco traded the Denver Broncos for a mid-round pick. Let me know what you guys think.